Hey guys, quick follow-up from the last video. I freaked out a little bit. Turned out it wasn't, it could have been serious, but um, I caught it in time and saw it and reported it to him. So what it was after she had the stroke, the emergency surgery is a really large, it's a really large incision, and they had to remove part of the bone. And also, I don't know everything about it. I'm just regurgitating what I hear him say. The membrane around the brain is called the derma, and it's basically like a sac that they have to slice open. So you cut open the skin, you remove the bone, you cut the bone, remove it, and then you have a membrane around the brain that has to be removed. Well, that to allow the swelling to subside and things to do what they're supposed to do, they had to leave that membrane open, and they left the bone out, and then they sewed the skin over it. And it's on the back. I mean, it runs from here down to the bottom, the base of her neck, basically down to our top, vertebra area down here. But anyway, so he came in. He looked at it. He told me what it was. He said, good thing we caught it. And he charged out of the room. And I kind of freaked out a little bit because this guy is, these neurosurgeons they're kind of cool as cucumbers. So when they get in a rush or move fast, it means something is like critical or important at least. So he gave me the feeling that this was a very critical thing. And it could have been if too much spinal fluid gets out of the brain, the brain basically is technically like dehydrated, I guess. Tissue starts to die. So it's kind of the opposite of hydrocephalus. Hydrocephalus is what she was dealing with. The tumor was causing hydrocephalus, and that caused the fluid to build up and be blocked into the brain. Well, the opposite is true if it's leaking out. It's leaking out faster than it should because there's the ventricles, it's created in the ventricles at the top, and then there's basically a passage that it flows through that turns into spinal fluid as it goes out. But that passage is very small, which is where one of her tumors was, and it was choking it off. But that passage is small for a reason. It maintains the fluid up into the brain, and that fluid is what carries, nutrients, oxygen, things around differently. And I may be saying that wrong, but I know it moves. The brain has to have it to live. A little different than brain, like blood vessels and whatnot. But anyway, it was leaking out. It's a clear liquid. Came back in. They said, I may have said this already. They said when they stitched it up, like she was really like morbidly swollen after the surgery. And they said sometimes stitching during that, when the swelling goes down, the skin actually gets loose and it opens, if there's any weak spots that haven't healed good in the seam of the incision, that it'll just open up, and that's what's happened. She had a couple of spots. So I was joking with her. I told her sac was leaking. Yeah, our skin, right? It's just a sac to hold in the bones and the blood and the water. But so yeah, he basically come in, he gave her a shot, gave her some lidocaine really quickly, and went to work and basically re-sewed, re-stitched the entire incision, which took a while. It's a big incision. And gave her some pain meds, and I say sedated. He gave her enough pain meds purposely to knock her out so she would lay there and be still, but not enough to like intubate her or whatever, like going into anesthesia. It just put her to sleep, a deep sleep, so she'd just lay there still. But anyway, so she's okay. She's resting. I came down to get some lunch. The nurses are watching her. Yeah, so it's just scary, guys. And I know some of you are probably sick of hearing the updates. It's gonna be a long road, and there again, I'm doing these updates so I can say it all and then send this link to people or post it on Facebook, give everybody a place to check it out, because Like this morning, even before that, people were calling, asking for updates and whatnot, and I'm helping her get up, go to the bathroom. I'm helping her. I'm getting her ice. Like, she's so uncomfortable. She's in such pain and nausea, nonstop. It's like it's constant care. It's constant doing something. So, and everybody's like, Wes, you need to get some sleep. I can't. I have to be ready to get out of that chair at any given time and do whatever it is she needs just to make her feel comfortable for the moment. So, giving her some princess treatment if that were a thing right now. But yeah, she doesn't sleep more than about 30 minutes at a time, and then she's up. She's hurting. She's trying to reposition. She wants some ice to chew on. She's sweated on her pillow. She needs new pillowcases, whatever the case is. I got to go to the bathroom. So it's just like, it's nonstop care. So yeah, just giving you an idea. So if you guys are calling and texting and I don't hit you right back, that's why. And that's why I do these videos, updates. It just gives a landing pad for those of you who really want to know and want to keep up with it, and for you to check it out. But yeah, I would expect some of you are sick of seeing this on my timeline, and frankly, I'm sick of talking about it. I'm ready for this part of life to be over with. So it'd be great when it is. So appreciate it. Appreciate the prayers. Yeah, I may have overreacted. It was important. It was something, but it freaked me out, freaked her out. And on top of it, she was kind of having that weird, if you follow these videos enough, she literally sees people in the room that aren't there. In the middle of the night, there's nothing but like the LED lights from the screens and stuff and all the monitors that are on her. So it's like blue lights in the room. And she'll start talking to me, and she'll just look past me and go, "Who's your friend? Who's that? Hey, come here." And she'll just start talking to him. And when she gets a clear head, she literally thinks that it happened. Like, in her mind, like that was just real. Because I kind of joked about it when she was kind of level-headed and awake, like fully aware. She was like, "Oh no, I saw something. There was somebody in here." I was like, okay. But yeah. Yeah. Well, that's it for today. I hope that's all the excitement we have. I believe physical therapy is going to leave her alone because of that. She was in too much pain to do anything. They may come back later, so I'll give you an update if she does much physical therapy, how she's progressing. I will say this: in the room with her, she's getting a little better with dizziness, and I mean that just like I say it. It's a little better. If I would almost trust her to go to make it to the bathroom and back on her own. I mean, she's almost there, but not 100%. So I still hold her hand, pull an IV pole and everything. When she gets all that IV stuff off of her, I believe it's going to make a difference in how she is mobile, but she still has that double vision. And hearing the doctor make a comment that there's no guarantee that that'll clear up this morning, that kind of hurt her. She's pretty upset right now over that. She's up and down. You can imagine her emotional state is all over the place. It's everywhere, But she feels good later. We're gonna pull up church on my laptop and watch it. So I don't know what else to update you guys on. This might be the only update for today. So I'm trying to just pack it full of stuff. And if there's nothing new to add, I'm not going to do another one today. I'm going to try to sit up there with her and get some sleep. Yeah. All right. I'm tired. I'm sorry. My personality is just drained. So apologies if I'm monotone voice and can't get my thoughts together. Cloudy headed. Oh, we're working with the nurses. Oh, I said it in one of the other videos. The nurse came on shift. We got a new nurse today. She walked in, and I had all the medications on the wall, and I had everything differently. They got a system where they look. It's like a scheduled chart of all the medicines. But then there's some things that are only as needed or when she asks for them. But they do have limitations of when, like the frequency. So I've took the board and I've wrote that stuff down. I was like, okay, this is an 8-hour med, whether she asks for it or not. This is an 8-hour med. Or a 6-hour, or a 2-hour, or a 4-hour, whatever. Every time she takes them, I update the when she gets it, and then I put she can't have it until here. So when she starts asking for it, I know without even talking to the nurse what she can and can't have on the surface. There is some gray areas. There's some wiggle room on some of it, but just for me, I'm just sticking to it. And then if it gets too bad, then I go to the nurse and say, okay, I know this is what we got, but what can we do? And then they do the wiggle room stuff. Sometimes they can give things like an hour early, like things like that. And it just helps. It helps me manage it with her, and it helps the nurses. And honestly, I've noticed that it makes sure that she gets her like the critical meds, like the steroid that's keeping the swelling down, the muscle relaxer that keeps the spasms from happening on the back of her neck, and then right up to it's a combination of Tylenol and caffeine that she's actually taking for pain. It's the only thing they'll give her. If you remember me talking, they're not, they did today, but they've been keeping her off of like heavy meds like morphine and anything like that. No, we're strictly Tylenol. When I say Tylenol, I'm not talking about Tylenol 3. Strictly Tylenol. She's not getting much else than what you go to the store and buy off the shelf right now. They're literally, it's pills they're crushing up, putting in some water and putting through her feeding tube. So that's the struggle. That's the reason. You guys that I am able to text back, you say, how is she? Yeah, she's hurting. She's nauseated. Nothing. That's not going to change. She's never not hurting. And the morning she wakes up and she's not hurting, we're all going to rejoice. But that's not going to be for a while. I just thought that was funny because my brain, I was watching these nurses do this, and then a couple of nurses accidentally skipped some of the medicines, and then the pain set in, and then we couldn't get control of it because we had waited too long to get the meds in. So I said, hey, I'm gonna fix this. I mean, I'm a planner and I'm a scheduler by trade now, I guess. So I just put it on the wall, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna build a schedule and that I can take a glance at. I don't know, it's just funny. It's weird the things you do, and some of the nurses like it. Some of them don't like being told what to do. So, because I literally will walk out there and go, hey, it's time for this. Okay. But they're good. They're great. It's just we're on a more of a common. We're in the neuro floor, but it's more of a common floor. So they have many patients, but good nurses, great nurses actually. All right, I've rambled enough. 13 minutes. My bad, guys. Appreciate all the prayers. If I do an update later, it'll be a quick one. I promise. I'm not going to rehash out everything, but I don't foresee her doing PT. We're probably just going to sit around and watch TV and rest today. Best we can, anyway. Later. Love you.